words really mean Happy New Year wishes. Yesterday, I had a client who is a class 10th girl. So she is not performing well in her academics, and her parents brought her. And when she started sharing, she was not concerned about academics or marks or anything. She said, I have one issue only. And then I asked, okay, what is that issue? She said, I have a wish. And every night I pray to God, but my wish is not being fulfilled. And of course, neither did I ask, nor would she share her wish. But that was something very new for me. That a 10th class girl saying that every night I pray to God and I wish my wish is fulfilled, but it is not being fulfilled. Once it is fulfilled, I will be happy and everything will fall in place. And she said, since August I'm praying and not a single day I have not done it. I said, and what do you think? No, I'm very sure. Venka, do you believe? Is this an assumption or a fact that you pray and it will be fulfilled? She said, it is my belief. It will be fulfilled. But belief has to be added with action. So I asked her, do you think some actions are needed to get that wish fulfilled? But the hope I could see on her face was so thrilling. And she would be happy if that hope is fulfilled. Of course, it also requires resilience. Resilience, our ability to recover in case her wish is not fulfilled. Another 6 months, then what? Ability to recover or adjust to the adversities. So when we start our happiness, we need to start with hope and resilience. And keeping these two things in mind, make sure now onwards you start making your happiness box your self-care box. Next rhythm. So when you were showing all the things, we could easily categorize. If we had a paper and pen and made a list, then we could easily categorize the things in two parts. I will share with one example. Somebody said, I'm happy seeing my paintings. And versus, I also have a painting in my room. So painting versus my paintings. Does it make difference? So can the person who, I'm forgetting the name, the student who said about my paintings, can you share? How do you feel seeing your paintings? Are you there? I would want interactive session so that we all learn from each other. Are you there? One who said my paintings? Vanya Pandey.
Vanya को unmute कर दीजिए अमन.
Ma'am, she is unmuted already.
Vanya? Yeah, Vanya. Thank you for sharing my painting. So, what have you drawn? There is some audio issue. Vanya?
Some audio issue at her end.
So one can understand painting versus my painting. And if there are three people, and we are in this generation gaps nowadays, there is one generation who feels that mobile media, Facebook, Instagram, Netflix, all this will create happiness. And there is one other generation who says that this mobile media, laptop, Facebook, Instagram are destroying happiness. So we are nowadays in this arena, and so the objective of the center Amity is having, and such workshops is to create a balance between the two, and that will happen when we are aware of. So the happiness things can be categorized. So Harshita says the poster on my wall, and Vanya says my painting. There's a lot of difference. So what is the difference? One gives the external, one happiness is dependent upon the external factors, and the other happiness is dependent upon the internal factors. If we tell these two types of happiness, it is hedonic and eudaimonic. Is next slide, Ritu? So happiness is categorized in two types: hedonic as well as eudaimonic well-being. Hedonic would be, and we also can categorize into pleasure and happiness. So pleasure, the hedonic well-being is just temporary. It is fleeting. It is just linked to enjoyment. It is linked to my personal subjective well-being. And peak moments of happiness are there in this, but it is short term. And the second type, eudaimonic well-being, is achievement oriented. So when Vanya said my painting, it reflected the happiness because it indicates an achievement. It's functioning, it's serving a purpose, meaning to my life. It is beyond the self, as Mother Teresa. She had happiness in serving others. So beyond the self, it's focusing on my strengths, my resources, my resilience, and it is deeper and it is long term. So as we are talking of these two types of happiness, and if we go to World Happiness Index, which country can you tell me is on top since last 6 years? Can anyone tell? Share. Which country?
Norwegian country.
Finland. Finland is on top since last 6 years. Yes, second is Denmark. But what about India? India is 126 out of 136 countries. So a big question mark. So before we move ahead, my question is, what makes you unhappy? Can I have some answers? What makes you unhappy? You can write on chat or unmute and share. What makes you unhappy?
Ma'am, there are so many reasons.
Like Praful, right? There's no one single reason, and it is subjective. One thing can make one person unhappy and the other person happy. So,
Ma'am, it depends on individually.
Yeah. So what
Lack
makes
of money.
what makes you unhappy, Praful?
Ma'am, what, ma'am?
What makes you unhappy?
Ma'am, I'm jobless.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So not having a job makes
Yes,
you
ma'am.
unhappy.
I'm job seeker.
Nice idea. Nice feeling you have shared. Exactly. Appropriate feeling. What about others? What makes you unhappy?
Expectations from others, ma'am.
Hmm.
This is
Right.
what we like. Expectation should be from ourselves only. हमारे साथ खुद हो.
Hmm.
Things from others that make it. Your happiness it should be in my pocket.
Very
When
nice.
you just see in some other people's pocket, then unhappiness comes.
Hmm. Right. Absolutely. Expectations make us unhappy. Next, one or two more. What makes you unhappy? Disappointments. Shadia says expectations. Priyanshi says disappointments. And disappointment comes when things not go according to us. Seeing my loved ones struggling. Yes. One more. Yes. Vanya, what makes you unhappy? Feeling of loss, Sunika says, yeah, yes. Paying for others' mistakes. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. So, Kitty says that humanity is dying day after day, and seeing that makes one person unhappy. Yes, who raised the hand? Can share? Share, please. Yasmin, Utkarsh.
Sometimes I make too many big plans, and when I'm not able to meet my expectations, so then I'm not happy. Like I think, yeah, I will complete whole one chapter in a day, and if I'm not able to complete that, that makes me very happy.
And Yasmin, what if your friend calls and says ki I completed 2 chapters today?
Then that unhappiness और increase हो जाता है मैम और ज़्यादा.
Yes, yes, and that is another factor I'll be coming to. Yes, Utkarsh, you raised your hand. Utkarsh, a similar name was it? Right. So, as many of you talked about expectations. Yes, that is the first point. Expectations. But somebody said expectations from others, and one beautifully put out when expectations from society, when she says that humanity is dying day after day. And her expectation is that humanity should survive. So when we are talking about expectations are threefold. Expectations from the society. We need a safe society. We need a safe space where we are living, a secure place. But when we see humanity dying, so unhappiness decreases. When we see so many, whenever we open the news and so many shocking news are there, and we see humanity dying. Yasmin, are you sharing something? You have raised a hand. Okay.
No, ma'am, by mistake it was.
Okay. So one is expectations from society, and then as someone said, expectation from others. Yes, but don't forget, we also have expectations from self. And this triangle of expectations, when they are unmet, when I have my expectation from me that I should not fail, and then it is unmet at times, and then I am unhappy. Others should be predictable. And as just shared, life should be certain. But no, COVID has taught us life is uncertain. Experiences teach us that others can be unpredictable and we can also fail. But when these expectations are unmet, I become unhappy. And then the comparison. As I just asked Yasmin. So it is not about me, it is about what others are doing. I have a small car, okay, but my friend got the bigger car. That makes me more unhappy. And third, everything of ours related to happiness is related to our thoughts. And as we are on treadmill, physically in gym, we are on treadmill. And what does treadmill mean? We are walking and walking and walking, but we are at the same place. We are not moving ahead. In the same way, we also have hedonic treadmill. When we are thinking and overthinking and thinking again and overthinking thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, we are just on hedonic treadmill, reaching nowhere. And that makes us unhappy. and lack of self control. Because whether this situation makes us happy or unhappy is our choice. It is based on our choice. We are at the choice point. And if we have self control, we will move towards happiness. And if we lack self control, we will move towards unhappiness. But the good point is that when we are doing such workshops, we are understanding happiness. Even if we are moving through towards unhappiness, we can take a U-turn and go to happiness route. That is what we have to do. And that will happen when we understand the difference between pleasure versus happiness, as we did about hedonic versus eudaimonic. So my question is, what is happiness? So now after understanding what makes us happy, what makes us unhappy, there's a difference in pleasure, happiness. So can anyone define happiness in your terms? Can someone try anything? Yes, Savia? Saiba?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, from my point of view, happiness is being satisfied with your life, with your current situation, and with yourself.
Wow. As Zadie sir also talked about satisfaction. That is the ultimate. If we are satisfied with whatever we have, rather than focusing on what others have or what we don't have, then we have happiness. Anyone else? Yeah, Neeraj says happiness is a state of being. Yeah. So I would say happiness has 3 dimensions. Martin Seligman, who is the father of positive psychology, and positive psychology leads to science of happiness. It believes in science of happiness. So Martin Seligman gave 3 dimensions. So happiness is having the pleasant life. Happiness is having the good life. And most of all, happiness is having the meaningful life. Yes, Sonika, it is our choice to go onto the happiness route or unhappiness route. We are at the choice point. Our action will determine where we are leading to. If a child gets a chocolate, he will be very happy. But what when that chocolate finishes? Then happiness will go away. So that is just a pleasure which is external to us, which just give you a feel-good factor. But in our society, in our lives, we are pursuing happiness outwardly, externally. That is why happiness is like a butterfly. The more you are after the butterfly, it will go away from you. But once you sit silently, calmly, it will come and sit on your hand also. Yes, it is positive emotional state and we enjoy every moment of life because internal to us, it is internal to us. It is inner joy, inner peace. Right. So next slide. So I have, yeah, Kitty?
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, I have a question.
Yeah, Kitty.
Ma'am, but do we not depend on external factors to rely on happiness?
Yeah, but that is what my question is. Of course, I also want a new, for this workshop, I bought a new set. Although nobody is going to see, I know it, so I showed it. But what if I see it was an offline workshop and I wear it, then I am expecting from others ki others will see and praise and will say ki, oh, this is so nice, Krishna locket. But when I see Dr. Manju's necklace and then I say, oh my God, that is so nice. So my happiness, my pleasure of having this vanished. I want that. That's a diamond necklace. I want that. I'll in your answer, I'll share a story in 2-3 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Before we go to next slide, after 3 slides, I'll share a story which will answer you.
Okay, ma'am.
And you are right. We